Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another VGS and DVD review. Today we'll be doing another Thomas VGS review, and this time as one of a classic series one, as one of the all-time best VGS releases from the show. It is Races, Chases, and Runaways. Now, did I say Chases Races or did I say Races and Chases? Okay, never mind about that. Today we'll be talking about probably the best Thomas VGS release that most people consider the best one of all time, and it is one of the best releases of all time. So this contains 18 episodes, 3 episodes from season 1. How many episodes was that? 7 episodes from 8 episodes from season 2, I think. 4 episodes from season 3 and 3 episodes from season 4. I know a lot of you are going to be saying, like, why is your light not on? But I don't need it all the time anyways. Plus, this is going to be done on the computer anyways. And this tape is over 100 minutes. And like most people say, that would be perfect for your kids to watch. So here we have the tape. And on the inside we have the episodes again. And we got a nice picture of Thomas going on the bridge with Topham on the top. It's come very clear that the Fat Controller is that kid who waves his hand at Thomas in every episode in the intro from season 1 to 7. So yeah, really like the cover. A bit of history about my copy. I used to own 2 copies of this. The first copy I owned, as a kid, I lost that copy. I got another copy, lost that copy, and now this is the copy I own. And I got this in 2017, I believe. I did a video on this when I got it. And this was the last Thomas the Friends VGS tape I have got at the moment. I haven't got any Thomas VGS tapes since 2017. It's a bit hard for me to find out these days, especially ones where I don't have. I'm still looking for some, like Spooks and Surprises and Happy Holidays. A couple of them I'm still looking for. Yeah. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on and take a look to see, do any of these episodes perfect for this release, or is there a couple that we need to remove that should not be on this one? Let's take a look. Starting off, we have is Percy Runs Away. Great episode to start off the release. Of course, it is a runaway episode, so obviously it should be on this release. And what was I going to say? Why do they keep doing these? I need to do video scripts. The runaway in this is good. Pretty epic for younger kids to watch, I suppose, to know what's going to happen to Percy. This is like a teaser to sort of Fallout or something. But yeah, and there is a problem with the episode, that the fact that somehow Percy crashed at surgery, even though surgery was on episode 9. But then again, surgery wasn't insured until season 2. And there's no point to surgery. Okay, so I can't get my computer to come on, so I have to wait. Okay, children, we're back. Anyways, where was I? Yes. Like, the only way to get down to surgery is that little junction after Wellsworth. But then again, since the crew was still new to the show at the time, they have no idea which goes well. They're always getting mixing it up. But anyways, a pretty good damn episode if you ask me. I do enjoy this episode, 10 out of 10 if you ask me. Up next is Dirty Objects, probably the best episode from the season 1 episodes on this release. You obviously have to like this episode. It is one of probably season 1's most popular episodes, obviously because of the accident in this episode. Again, there's a runaway in this episode, so it does deserve to be on this tape. Fantastic episode if you ask me. I always like this shot here with James, Toby, and Percy. I always like this shot, so that's why I picked this one. So yes, 10 out of 10 for this episode. The sets weren't really too long in this episode, I suppose, but Picking up trucks on Thomas's line at Towers Bridge. I suppose tender engines are sometime on that piece. So, maybe. But 10 out of 10 for the story. And the last season 1 episode on this release is Down the Mine. There isn't really a big runaway in this episode. Like, sure, Thomas does run off when his crew gets out of him to switch the points. Well, no, does his drive, I think. Or was it a fireman? I forgot. Have to rewatch the episode, but it's only a small runaway, so I suppose you could put this on this release, but whatever. It's a good episode. I'm probably gonna give it 10 out of 10 as well. Man, the season 1 episode on this release are pretty damn good. Kicking off the season 2 releases season 2 episodes on this release is Thomas, Percy, and Nicole. The first episode, season 2, obviously. I always loved this story. Of course, the ending was a bit different to the Railway series book, unfortunately. So, Drip Tank was literally written for nothing for the TV show to adapt them. But hey, at least people did adapt it for remakes, like in Roblox or Trains, whatever. I always like this Hopper scene. This is probably my favorite scene out of the episode. Maybe it's just funny how Thomas gets covered in coal. It's like, I know, he's stealing Henry's special coal or something. And Percy, it's like Percy was going to steal Henry's special coal, and then he puts the blame on Thomas for it. But yeah, 10 out of 10 again. I need to learn to stop giving episodes 10 out of 10. But there again, opinion exists, so bugger off. Again, there's not really any chases in this episode, but I suppose maybe Percy crashing into the buffers, or when he at this scene here, and later on when he crashes through that coal pile. I suppose they're kind of runaways, but yeah, I'm not sure. And up next is Cows, the second episode, season 2. Okay, so there's literally a problems episode. No, it has nothing to do with the plot or anything, but who told me a good idea to add this episode on this release? I mean, the tape itself clearly says it's about chases, races, and runaways. Not about nearly killing cows, which, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea why they put this episode on this release. There are a couple of episodes on this release that have some episode that makes no sense to the title of this release at all, but this episode is pretty good. I know it doesn't really work on this release. It should be on some other release, but the episode itself is not that bad, so I'm probably going to give it maybe 10 out of 10 again. I'm bad. Up next is Percy and Howard, an episode that actually makes sense to be on this release, because this is a race episode. Sorry about that, folks. This episode actually makes sense to be on this release because it's a race episode. In all fairness, Thomas and Bertie should be on this release as well, because that was also a race episode. Maybe that episode could have replaced Cows, but a bit too late for that now, isn't it? Pretty good damn episode. I'm probably going to give it 9 out of 10. The Runaway, another episode that makes sense. Another chase episode, and, obviously a runaway. But, another episode that makes sense to be on this release. Always loved this episode. I think my favorite shot from this episode probably has to be when Duck was going past the waterman with Annie and Clarabelle, going backwards maybe. That shot was just so beautiful. But yeah, good episode, 10 out of 10. A Crow Shave, another episode that makes sense. Even though they didn't include the 2 previous episodes from this trilogy, those 2 episodes don't make sense to be on this release, but this episode does since it's a runaway. And I really don't mind Pop Goes These and Dirty Work not being on this release because they are not runaways or chases or races. They're just Pop Goes These was literally about Diesel killing trucks, and Dirty Work was just literally Duck getting the blame on going to jail. Just kidding, but yeah, pretty good damn episode. 9 out of 10. Up next is Better Late Than Never. You have to follow the same problem as Cows, don't you? Again, this episode doesn't make sense, to be honest, release. Plus, nobody barely likes this episode, if you ask me. I mean, yes, it's not a runaway on this. It's not. This episode doesn't make sense to this release, but nobody never really liked this episode when it came out during 1986. Like, it's not one of the all-time classics. Nobody doesn't really like Better Late Than Never a lot. Most people find it boring, but obviously, it was the reason why this story was rushed was because Christopher Audrey had to meet the deadline. While I cannot understand why Brit could have adapted any other books. I mean, like, there was plenty of other books to adapt, but she literally wanted to have the U book that Christopher was working on to be in the season. There was plenty of other books you could have adapted. I mean, like he written 4 stories and you only adapt 3 of them. But there again, I suppose the reason why you only need Din Out There Drip Tank so you can have the ending of Thomas, Percys, and Nicole to be fully filmed. I mean, or maybe you just couldn't make Thomas bloody elite. But the episode itself is, I really don't mind this episode. I pretty kind of like it. I know it has a boring plot and all, but yeah, I'm okay with it. I think I'm going to give it maybe 9 out of 10. Up next is Break Fan. Break Fan sort of has the same situation with Down the Mine. There's no really any chases or races, but I suppose Donald crashing into the signal box is sort of a runaway, so I suppose you can count that. But the episode itself is good. Do enjoy this episode, so it gets a 10 out of 10. And the last episode on this release is Percy's Predicament. Again, this is a runaway episode, so obviously it was going to be a good one, and this is perfect for this release. This episode is good. I always love Percy's Predicament. It's a fantastic story and a great way to end off the Branch Line Engines trilogy in Season 2 and the book itself. So yeah, very good episode, and the crash was amazing. 10 out of 10. Now we move on to the Season 3 episodes. First up is Gordon and the Famous Visitor. Again, doesn't have a runaway, doesn't have a chase or races. Well, I suppose since Gordon's an engine, he races, even though he's trying to break a speed record, but races are literally just like Percy and Howard makes sense because that's a race. So, and Thomas Bertie could have been on this released, but no. The Gordon Famous Visitor was a good episode. I mean, like, it doesn't make sense on this release, but I like it. 10 out of 10. And I always like the scene where the dome went into the water just to cool herself off. Up next is Toby's Tightrope. And yes, this episode makes sense because it's a runaway. Toby's literally worrying about what we're going to say about this episode right now. Yeah, it's a good episode. So, the runaway is cool, and the way they shot Toby on the bridge was just so perfect. I mean, like, maybe whenever they do a scene like this in Thomas, do they always have something to hold the bridge so the model won't fall into like off the tracks or anything like that? I don't know, but it was really a great episode. 10 out of 10. Up next here is Escape. Fantastic episode. Obviously, everyone loves Escape. This shot here is probably the best shot of the episode. This looks so beautiful. Yeah, I'm afraid there's not much to say it. Besides maybe Donald killing Douglas, because Donald missed the entire adventure. But yeah, good episode. 10 out of 10. And the final Season 3 episode on this release is Oliver Owns Up. Fantastic episode to end off the Season 3 releases. Well, episodes, sorry, on this release. The crash makes sense, so yeah, it's obvious. It was, by the way, a fantastic episode to end off this release, if you ask me. So yes, 10 out of 10. Oliver looks like he's about to pee on this truck or something. Busting for the toilet, he is. Now we come into the Season 4 episodes on this release. First one is Follow to Engines. As much this is a classic, this doesn't really make sense, I suppose. It's not a runaway or chase or races. But I suppose it was a race against time to meet the deadline with James. So I suppose that's count, but I really don't know. But the episode itself is fantastic, beautiful, of course. So yes, 10 out of 10, even though it may not make sense on this release, but hey, it's a classic. Up next is Steamroller, a flippin' fantastic classic, obviously. Always loved Sahando and George's rivalry. It's a shame Sahando did not appear in season 5 because George did invite George and he didn't. Unfortunately, it would be amazing if we did learn to more about Sahando and George's rivalry throughout the series. If Sahando was in season 5 and if he and both George were in later seasons before Sahando returned in season 10. But oh well, never mind. The crash is always hilarious as well. I do find the crash funny. It's funny. So yes, great episode. Probably going to give it 9 out of 10. Even though the episode may not have a runaway or chase or race. I suppose the handle and George's race does. So it makes a little bit of sense, I don't know. But, wait, what are we talking about that for? What on the last episode? Anyways, and here we come to this last episode on the release, and the only standard gauge episode from season 4 on this release. That is Train Stops Play. This episode makes sense because it's a chase because Caroline is chasing Stepney. So this episode makes sense. The episode starts off with a great bang where Percy runs away, and this episode ends off with a great bang with this episode. I always loved Train Stops Play. It's probably my favorite story out of the Stepney trilogy. It's just a great episode. So yes, 10 out of 10 boys, 10 out of 10. Would I lie to you? When I was younger, I thought Caroline first was introduced in season 5 and not season 4. Literally, I'm not joking, I actually thought that before I saw this episode. It was because I saw They Has Budget Pie before this episode, kids. And that, children, was this release. That was my talk about this release. There's no songs on this release, so there's not much to talk about this release. But I will show you what I'm reviewing next. So next in line, ladies and gentlemen, my next review will be a DVD review, which will be Bob the Builder, Project Builder, Super Speed Benny. So this will be a nice review because it will finally be something different from Thomas. Our next one after that will be another DVD review on The Best of James. Not the UK release. This is the US release. This is the UK release. Because the US got classic episodes. While the UK got episodes from the first 7 seasons. The Hit era and the Sharon Miller era. So, but if you boys do want me to, if you boys do want me to review this, let me know in the comments below. Or if you want me to review this instead of this. Whatever you want, I guess. After Best of James, we have another VGS review, which is Playtime. And after that is another VGS review, which is Thomas and Gordon. There were other ones said in other comments by some dude who commented these for reviews. He also commented for other ones, like for DVD Mail Watch, opening and closing, whatever. I could review those DVDs and VGS as well, but we wait and see. I'm probably not going to name them out, but yeah. We will be reviewing these at some point. But if you boys have any requests for me in the comments below, let me know. And don't request any of these, please, because they're already being requested. So please request anything that I haven't reviewed on DVD reviews yet, because I do want to do more DVD reviews. I forgot to say this VGS was released on, was it the 6th? The 6th of August 1997, I think. Hang on. Sorry, it was actually released on the 6th of October 1997. So this was released 1 year before season 5 came out. So, now, of course, there are problems with this release. Episodes like Cows and Better Late Than Ever do not make sense to be on this release. I mean, look at, they even put Off the Rails on the back cover here. I suppose that was a little bit of a runaway, but I don't know. Some other episodes like Thomas Comes to Breakfast is on here. that would make sense. What else is on here? I think that's from Thomas. No, I think this picture here is from Trust Thomas, which maybe Trust Thomas should have been in Gordon and the Famous Visitor's place, while maybe Thomas Comes to Breakfast should have been in. If you put Break Van in Bella and Never's place, and then maybe squeeze Thomas Comes to Breakfast here, what will replace Cal's? Probably Bertie's Chase, I would say. Yeah, put Bertie's Chase there. Obviously, Percy Runs Away should have Thomas and Bertie. I mean, no, sorry. I mean, like, if you remove Down the Mine, maybe, or whatever. Thomas and Bertie will make sense on this release as well. For Season 4 here, for Little Engines, maybe Trucks will make sense. Maybe Trucks would make sense to be on this release. Steamroller, I'm still not sure about Steamroller. I don't know about that yet. It probably does make sense on this release, I guess. I don't know, but whatever you guys think. Like some episodes, like Trust Thomas, Thomas Comes to Breakfast, Thomas and Bertie. You know, maybe afterwards as well. I guess I don't know, but they would maybe not afterwards. The three Thomas episodes I suggest maybe they should have been on this release, but hey. While some of these episodes do not make sense, you have to admit there are still great episodes if you like them, and this is still a great BGS. It's still fantastic release. So, anyways, thanks for everyone who has watched this review. Go and request for other ones you want me to review. Just don't request the same thing that people requested me, and I'll see you guys another time. Good luck, beige. Okay, now it's back to the chef with you.